Hi guys, it's me. It is my favourite holiday of the year. It's Halloween and I'm very excited. And I have flatmates now, which is fun. In my last video I showed you how I made these beautiful Halloween-y prosthetics, and I'm now going to show you how I apply them, blend them and make myself so spooky for tonight's party. So excited. Let's get to it.
First things first, I have brushed all my hair back and out of the way and I'm moisturising my face. The first thing I'm doing is blocking out my eyebrows with wax. This is because I know I'm going to be putting latex over them later, and I quite like my eyebrows. I don't really feel like ripping them out today, thank you. The wax acts as a buffer to protect them. And then, to make sure that is where it should be, I'm applying a coat of latex to seal it. This way I know no harm will come to my eyebrows throughout this application. I'm starting with the eyepieces, which are the less demanding of the prosthetics, making sure that they fit properly and sit where I want them to. I'm going in with my cotton bud and applying a base layer of latex over the edges. This will be the anchor that holds them in place. Then I'm using thin strips of tissue to go over the edges and blend them to my skin. Using tissue and latex is one of the oldest tricks in the book, but it's there for a reason. It's really good. Just make sure that you tear the tissue in the direction it wants to go, and try and avoid crinkles if you can. I would like to apologise for the amount my camera moves. Like I say, this is my first video at uni and my legs were kicking the desk quite a lot as I was working. Hopefully by the next one I will have that resolved. Moving on to the mouthpiece, I'm cutting the base in half, so I will have a top jaw and a lower jaw that will let me eat and drink in between. To complete the illusion, I'm using a black water-based paint and filling in the gaps. This will mean that my mouth looks genuine and it has actually been ripped far beyond its natural size. I start applying the lower jaw first because it's easier, using that same technique of tissue and latex. Tissue and latex. A hairdryer always helps speed the process along, and I don't know what I would do without mine. I'm also making little anchor points along the top of the prosthetic, just to make sure it doesn't make a hinge at all, and I'm painting over any of the latex and tissue with black, just to make sure that the shape remains intact. I'm applying the top jaw in exactly the same way, using latex and tissue. By now you can start to see the shape taking place, and it is a very frustrating thing sometimes with special effects makeup, where it doesn't look like it's meant to, and about halfway through you often find you become really disillusioned. Don't. You've got to trust the process. Even if it starts a bit rocky, 9 times out of 10 it will come together in its own time. So don't you panic, it will work out. With the latex all dry, I'm taking that foundation and using it to adjust the tone of the latex. As you can see, and as I mentioned in my last video, the foundation I'm using here is not that of my skin tone, but it will be corrected in a few moments. This is just to take away the yellow tones of the latex and bring it closer to a more natural skin tone. With the foundation dry, I go in with a concealer that is thicker and closer to my skin tone, which creates a smoother effect. With that done, I am using my aqua colours, which are water-based face paints, and just finishing up any little parts of the design that need it. In this case, that's bringing the red flesh tones down over my eyelids to create the illusion that my eyelids have been brought up. Now, do you remember those ball and chains I mentioned earlier? This is what they're being used for. I picked these up in a Halloween costume shop, and they are very lightweight. I'm using super glue to attach them to the prosthetic, making sure it doesn't touch my skin, and I'm securing them in my hair with hair grips. A little bit of fake blood goes a long way, and is one of my favourite things to use. I'm also using it to add texture and depth to the surrounding skin to make it look irritated, as well as lining my mouth with it. The costume I'm wearing is just a white shirt from Primark that I picked up for about a £5. I've put it on backwards to create the illusion of a straitjacket. Decorating it with some chains for that Asylum look. Figuring out what to do with my hair because it is very fluffy and I didn't want it to detract from the makeup itself. And finally, contact lenses to finish the look. These were picked up in a Halloween shop for about £7. And there we go. Stay spooky, everyone.